After being a real difference maker for India in this recent test series vs England, in this video we'll assess what makes Jasprit Bumrah so special. Bumrah was discovered by John Wright and signed to the Mumbai Indians in 2013, where Tendulkar said he was hard to pick up. Bumrah then made the swift journey through the ranks and made his test debut in 2018. With one of the premier batsmen in Joe Root struggling with Bumrah, let's actually decode what makes him so special. There are a few things, but one by one, let's go. First, the strange action. It's well documented that Bumrah only had 14 steps in his yard when growing up, so he made best use of it. With a slingshot action over a braced front leg, he clears 140k without giving the batsman the visual cues that most batsmen are used to. This can cause batsmen to misjudge the length and get into bad positions. 2. His release point. There are two things to note about his release point. Firstly, he delivers from wide the crease, and as the ball is always coming into you, you feel like you always have to play at the deliveries. If you look at someone like Joe Root, Bumrah has a phenomenal record against him. And there has been a few occasions where Joe Root has been annoyed for fending at deliveries against Bumrah, but the angle forces him to play at those balls. Secondly, he delivers from way in front of his body, giving him a bit of extra pace as the ball is delivered close to the batter. This may be why it rushes batters so often, and alongside his action, why they don't pick him up so well. 3. He can move the ball both ways. When Bumrah first started, he couldn't really swing the ball away from the right-hander and relied mainly on seam. That changed on the 2018 tour of England. After going 3 tests without shaping the ball into the left-hander, he then surprised Keaton Jennings with a booming in-swinger. Although you have to feel sorry for Jennings, as the replays really make him look lost by showing that instant in isolation without the context. Moving the ball both ways means he can set up the batters for LBWs and draw them into playing for the nick. Additionally, he can do these same skills with the new ball as well as the old if there's reverse, so he's a threat in all conditions. 4. He's extremely accurate and rarely misses his line or length, and can bowl spells consistently to build pressure. So he's got unusual action that makes you play the ball, he can move the ball both ways at 140k's, and if the pitch is flat and there's no movement, to top it off for number 5, he can bowl a magical slower ball or a magical Yorker to take the pitch out of the equation. Just ask Shaun Marsh and Ollie Pope. Even in the World Cup final, which still hurts to talk about, he got Steve Smith out with a slower ball when the pitch became good for batting. For me, this is why I would argue a prime Bumrah is probably the best fast bowler of all time on his day. You could argue that maybe one of the West Indian greats, Steyn or Anderson, but I don't think these bowlers have the confluence of factors and skills that Bumrah has to thrive on all surfaces in all game states. It's like a unique Swiss Army knife of tools to get the batters out, which is hard to replicate for any other bowler. I'm not saying over a period of time he's better than these greats, but on everyone's best day, I'm sure I'd pick Bumrah. I don't think anyone in history matches him.